Here we go. All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Happy Tuesday. Happy fourth week of our X2O water machine series. I'm so excited to share more information with you tonight. I do have a PowerPoint, of course, to be able to do that. If you are a guest this evening, my name is Dr. Stacy. Welcome. If you are watching the replay, welcome as well, too. I wanted to give you a little information before we kick this off. Just so you know, I am not a medical doctor. I have a PhD in integrative medicine and a PhD in functional medicine. So I focus over in the holistic world. All things alternative, all natural, ways to be able to help the body heal without doing any type of medical intervention. Even though it says, I say functional med and integrative med, it's not actual medicine as in allopathic. With that, the information that I'm sharing tonight is for informational purpose only. Please note that if you have any questions in regards to your health, please check with your doctor or your healthcare practitioner. This information is not intended to make any claims to treat, cure, diagnose, or prevent anything. If you are pregnant, nursing, or under the age of 18, please check with your healthcare provider. They will be able to help serve you in what your needs are. With that, for time purposes, I want to make sure I can get started right away and share my screen so I can go over the information that we have tonight about our technology. So here we go. All right, so tonight we're going to focus on from activation to amplification. So the missing link by me. So week 4, we're going to unlock the full results. First, we have what's essential, which is our X39, our flagship patch. I'm going to go into that in a little bit more detail here. Then we're going to talk about what enhances the results of all of our patches, and that's Cellergize. And then we're going to talk about what really amplifies those results, and that's our X2O water machine. We're going to tie it all together tonight, and I'll share with you at the end something special that's coming next week. So we have scientific support. David Schmidt himself is the owner of the company. He is the inventor of the technology. He holds over 200 patents himself personally, over 70 of them in the area of regenerative medicine. We have over 90 clinical studies, research projects, many of them done independently at universities. Scientific experts, medical experts have done these studies all around the globe. The person that invited you here can definitely get you access to those studies so you can take a look at them yourself. Many of them are double-blind placebo controlled and even peer-reviewed. So it's not theory, it's actually backed by innovation. So what is phototherapy? As I mentioned, we're starting with X39. We know that phototherapy or light therapy has been around since the dawn of time, literally. Our sun, right, nature's original healing system is what is signaling our body, our biological change. That light, that phototherapy is creating change in our body, or we call it photobiomodulation. We know that it supports cellular function, things like vitamin D, for example. When I step out in the sun, I know that certain wavelengths of light from the sun are going to elevate my own vitamin D, elevate my own melanin, which helps my skin stay nice and darker than normal to protect me from the harmful rays of the light from the sun. We know there are harmful rays as well. We know that light is going to improve mitochondrial function and many things more we're going to be discussing. So your body responds to light. That's the foundation of everything we do. So let's talk a little bit about LifeWave's patch technology. This is a non-transdermal patch. This patch is sticky on one side, smooth on the other. What non-transdermal means is when I put this on my body, there's no drugs, there's no chemicals, nothing's entering my body. Obviously no needles, you saw that go on. So we're not adding anything to. We're activating what's already there. So with X39, we know this patch elevates GHK-Cu copper peptide. We know that it stimulates stem cell signaling. I'm going to talk to you here in just a minute about the conjunction of our X39 with our Cellergize, which is how we won the Stem Cell Innovation of the Year award in 2025 from combining those two. So using X39 to elevate GHK, activate stem cells, I'm going to dive into what the Cellergize does to support that stem cell activity and mobility throughout the body in just a minute. But know that X39 is supporting repair and regeneration throughout the body. We have people all the time that tell us in the first 3 to 6 weeks, they notice, and again, in our clinical studies as well, we see this. In the first 3 to 6 weeks, they noticed increased energy and vitality. They're recovering faster from daily activity or fitness. They have more mental clarity, focus, concentration. Their skin is looking better. It's softer. We see changes in the skin, even in looking at scars and moles and lines and wrinkles. We know that strength and performance is improving with the X39. And of course, people have much better sleep. Those are some pretty common things early on. So X39 is turning on your system. But here's what most people don't realize. You can activate repair. We know X39 sends the signal. That's what it does, right? We're signaling GHK. We're signaling the molecule. But the body still needs nutrients. It still needs the building blocks. And without the support, you're going to have slower results. So that's where we look at Cellergize to fuel the system. As I mentioned earlier, X39 in combination with Cellergize has earned us the Stem Cell Innovation of the Year Award, which is a very prestigious award. If you want more information on that, of course, you can go to Google and it'll pop up. But we know that X39, again, is our signal. We need the nutrients or the foundation, the precursors to these peptides that our patches are elevating. And so the Cellergize provides amino acids, electrolytes, minerals, vitamins, C. buckthorn, as I mentioned, which is the ingredient, that cyantox, that's responsible for stem cell activation, mobilization throughout the body, healthy stem cell function. So David has been asked for years on end, what kind of vitamin D do I take? What kind of vitamin C? Where should I buy my amino acids? Where should I buy my electrolytes? And he's not recommending any companies, but just to find a good, clean, healthy source. That's easier said than done sometimes these days. So a couple of years ago, he decided to formulate his own formulation. The exact amounts of these nutrients that our peptides need, that our body needs to be the foundation to support the patches. So it's not just a typical amino acid electrolyte blend you can pick up at the grocery store. It's not going to have the same ratios, and it definitely does not have C. buckthorn in it. So Cellergize, as I mentioned, supports the stem cell activity. It also is boosting your own glutathione. It's supporting that GHK and AHK peptides. It's improving your cellular health. So the body has what it needs to rebuild by using the Cellergize. You use 2 scoops every morning in a glass of water. I use a little shaker thing, mix it up. I like to mix mine, early in the morning. I recommend that for sure. I would not use this later in the day. As I've mentioned, it creates the energy and gets the body moving. So that would definitely be something you would want to use in the morning. So X39 is our signal. Cellergize are the building blocks. So you can't rebuild without the materials. We do know that the majority of people are nutrient deficient. Our soil does not have the key nutrients it used to have. Think about when you were a kid, and I don't know how old you are. I'm in my 50s, so I think about when I was a kid and my mom had gardens, and we ate out of the gardens, and her mom had gardens, so my grandma did, and her mom, so my great grandmother had gardens. So we were eating out of gardens, out of the food from our land, and it was nutrient dense. It was very good and healthy and good for you. We were healthy all the time. Think about our soils today. Maybe you never had gardens growing up. Maybe you don't have a garden now. I know I eat from most all of my food from the farmer that's down the road from me that is growing everything at a regenerative farm organically, but maybe that's not your option. Maybe you're getting food from the grocery store and it doesn't have the key nutrients in it. And so you're thinking you're eating these healthy foods, but yet they don't even have the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that are needed to be your building blocks. So we see people are deficient in things like magnesium, potassium, we see that they're using the wrong kind of salt. And we see that they are deficient in vitamins and different types of minerals in the body. And so that is very, unfortunately common today because of our food. And so even if we eat organic, it's not always going to provide all the nutrition. And even if it is our gut actually absorbing and assimilating it? So then we get back down into that X39 being the signal. We know that we can see some changes in the gut around 6 weeks, where we're starting to have better absorption and digestion and mobilization throughout the gut. So that's able to help the body to process what we are taking in food-wise and supplement-wise as well too. So Cellergize is designed to elevate the benefits of our patches. That's the whole reason why David invented it, to be able to help support what the patches are doing, because most people today are deficient. So let's talk about optimizing everything with our X2O. And if you've joined me in the last 3 weeks, we've really focused a lot on X2O and how this technology works. And so I will be sharing, of course, some of that information tonight and some of the things that people normally would experience with that as well too. But we know that this is a brand new machine. It has never existed on the planet. There is no comparison to this and other machines that are water systems that are out there. And I know you could probably say, well, we can compare it here or there. There's different types of ways to compare it. But when you understand what this technology does, you'll see that this is not anything that you'll find anywhere else. I remember a few years ago when David actually secured the patent for this machine, and he does hold 20 patents on the machine currently. And I'll talk about the wavelengths of light that are in the inside in a minute, but there was no category in the US Patent Office for this technology. It didn't exist. And typically a patent takes about 18 months to 2 years or more to obtain. It was months, a few months, and David had the patent for this machine because it didn't exist. So they created a category and said, all right, here's your patent. This is doing what you say it's going to do. And so there you go. But like I said, over the process of inventing the machine and scaling it to where it is today as an under the countertop machine, it does not need to be hooked into a water source. It's literally just plugged into the wall. He has 20 patents on that machine. And so we know that this light infused water, the 6 wavelengths of light that are patented, each wavelength of light is patented, that is being infused into the water that we are drinking. So we are delivering water where it matters most, into the light, into your body, targeted cellular delivery. So our patches are working from the outside in. I put the patch on in the morning when I get up. I don't see or feel anything happening, of course. As I mentioned, it was non-transdermal. Nothing's going into my body. So there's no risk for any contraindications or any side effects or adverse effects. But immediately, what David has invented is on the inside of this patch. And immediately, that wavelength of light from this patch is reflected into my body. So the patch uses my body's heat as the power source, or the light that I'm emitting is the power source. And I put that on, my body's light hits the patch, reflects a specific wavelength of light that is patented into my body. And then of course from there, we trigger that peptide. We trigger that process in the body. So the patch is working from the outside in. Now our X2O, this is not really X2O right now, but it is an X2O glass. My X2O, which I drink in the morning every day, is working from the inside out. So you drink it, you feel it, it works from within. So different technology, both patented technologies, both light-focused technologies, working with light, different mechanism of action. So a lot of people tell me they drink water, but they're still tired. They drink water, but they're still inflamed. They drink water, but they still have, and they go on and on. Because most water is filtered, but not optimized. So your cells need more than hydration. Hydration alone is not enough. We need hydration at a deeper level. That's what X2O does. It's hydrating your body at the cellular level. It's literally infusing all the trillions of cells inside of your body with light. We know that it increases energy and supports your metabolism, increasing that metabolism, increasing that fat oxidation. We see that it has great benefits in the antioxidant activity inside of the body. Antioxidants are what chomp up those free radicals, the toxins in the body, the oxidative stress, and it helps to remove contaminants, heavy metals, forever chemicals, contaminants, chlorine, disinfectants. Those are all being removed, those microplastics from the machine. So that's the first step, is the filtration. And this machine has 2 filters in it. One filter is going to take care of those forever chemicals, those microplastics and things like that. And then the other filter that's in there is going to take care of the rest of the cleaning of the contaminants and the rest of the stuff that's toxic in your water. And maybe you're putting good, healthy, clean water in it. I don't know. But there is a reservoir on the left. You fill the water up from there. You can use tap water unless your water has fluoride. Here in Florida, we don't have fluoride in our water. But if you do have fluoride, I recommend using some type of water that doesn't have fluoride in it because the machine does not take that out. But we have this 2-step, 2-stage filtration process that is on the right side of the machine in that compartment. From there, the water is enriched with hydrogen. Now, there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of peer-reviewed studies on hydrogen water, so we're not going to go into that. This is a benefit because hydrogen does increase antioxidant level. It does decrease oxidative stress. So there are great benefits to hydrogen water. I'm sure many of you are familiar with hydrogen water, but we go way beyond that. And we're changing the bond angle of the actual water. We are infusing the water with light. As I mentioned earlier, 6 different patented wavelengths of light are being infused into this water that is going into the machine inside. And that takes 45 minutes. So it's not a quick process. This is something you're going to, when you set your machine up, you're going to plug it in. You're going to go through the filtration process to flush those filters out, which takes about 15 minutes per filter, not that long of a process. And it's going to say treatment in progress. And it's pulling water from the tank through the filters into the center to be infused, waiting for you 45 minutes to be able to drink it. Once it says dispense, you can put your glass underneath and you can push the dispense button. It will give you this right here, 16 ounces of water. Then you can actually take another glass and put it underneath there, hit dispense again, and it will give you another 16-ounce glass of water. Then you can wait 45 minutes, drinking your water, and you're able to push the button again and get another 16 ounces and then another 16 ounces. So every 45 minutes, you're going to get 32 ounces of the X2O. But this is not just water. This is delivery technology. Very different. We see from this water, so far, David has done 7 clinical studies. 3 of them have been published that we have access to. And we see 100% of the people, hundreds of people that are tested in these clinical studies. And I've talked about these in the past 3 weeks, so I'm not going to go into that. But 100% have measurable changes in seconds to minutes. Most all within 15 seconds, the machines, the devices are measuring changes. That's significant. That's not your typical water filtration or ionization type of machine. For 100% of the people in every one of the studies to have hundreds of things improve, changes immediately. It's pretty dramatic. So we're going to talk about building your wellness foundation. We're going to activate peptides, trigger processes in our body. We're going to activate with the X39. We're going to support with the Cellergize, and we're going to amplify with the X2O. So a little bit more about the X2O. When we look at the nutrient absorption, as I mentioned earlier, because of our soil, our food, we are not able to absorb the nutrients from our food a lot of times, as well as from our supplements. So using the X2O is going to change this environment inside of your body to where your body is able to absorb the nutrients. You are able to absorb the nutrients from your food and from the supplements that you are consuming. It's going to enhance the cell-to-cell communication. We talked about this in the past couple of weeks. Communication is a problem. If my mitochondria are not functioning correctly, they're not increasing the ATP, my cells don't have enough raw resources to be able to actually do their job. And so we have a breakdown in the cellular communication inside of the body. So we're going to elevate the ATP at the mitochondrial level, which is in every single one of your trillions of cells. We're going to improve that cell-to-cell communication so that your body is functioning better. We're going to improve that cell protein synthesis. So we're going to improve metabolic function in the body. We're going to speed up the results. So everything you're already doing, and a lot of you are doing a lot right, everything is going to work better with the X2O. So who's it for? Anyone using patches? Anyone wanting better energy? Anyone wanting optimized results? If you're already using X39, this is going to complete the system. If you're not using X39, I highly recommend you get with whoever invited you so you can get started on this patch right now. This patch has been on the market for the last 7 years. It's taken our company during that time frame through a 3,000% growth because of what it does and how effectively it's working in the millions of people around the globe that are patching. We're currently open in almost 90 countries. So that is not just here in the US. We're all over North America, all over Europe, and many parts in Asia, as well as New Zealand, Australia. So this is a global company positioned with about 15 corporate offices and 12 distribution centers globally. We are a 22-year-old company, so we're not new. And maybe you're here listening about the X2O, but you're maybe not sure about the patches or not for sure if they're for you. With a 22-year-old company that David started after he was working for the U.S. Department of Defense, contracted to work for the Navy SEALs inventing survival equipment, it just made the most sense to be able to share this word of mouth, people by people, telling people that have experiences. So maybe you haven't heard of LifeWave yet, because we're not in grocery stores, we're not in GNC, we're not in Walmart or vitamin shops. We are independent people telling other independent people. We're sharing with people we care about. So this technology is for you. The patches are for you. The Cellergize is for you. The X2O is for you. It's really for anybody that wants to optimize their results in life, that wants the best quality of life. So if you're already using X39, this completes the system. And if you're not, you can definitely get on board with both of them at the same time. So as I mentioned, the system is the X39, turning on the repair signal, the enhancement of the Cellergize, providing those nutrients that's needed, and the amplification with the X2O, delivering and accelerating your wellness journey. This is where the real results are going to multiply. So if you think about it this way, X39 is your light switch. Turn on the cellular repair. We know as we age, peptides decline, stem cells decline, and so we have a body that is not functioning the way it used to. We're going to turn on the repair system again. That's what your X39 does. We're going to fuel that system. It's going to power the cellular energy when using Cellergize. I love to mix Cellergize with my X2O. I know my son does the same thing. Brent likes his separately. He likes to drink that water by itself, empty stomach, and then he'll do his Cellergize a little bit later in the morning. I like to combine them. It's totally up to you what you do, whether you do it with the X2O or not. But if you heard my study research information from David last week, You did notice probably that some of the key ingredients that are in Cellergize, David actually studied using in combination with the X2O and found that it increased performance, it increased stamina, endurance, and upregulation of key nutrients in our body when combining the Cellergize with the X2O versus not. So there are definite benefits of putting it into your water and drinking it with the X2O. X2O is the delivery system, delivering these nutrients into your body at the cellular level. So you combine the Cellergize and the X2O, and you're going to have an increase in what's happening in your body. So we know that X2O is that electrical current. It's going to deliver and amplify everything. You need all three for full power. So I shared with you my routine. This is just a sample. Of course, you can do whatever you want to do. Just make sure you're not drinking the Cellergize or the X2O after 3 p.m. It could keep you up, and we don't want to do that. We have a nighttime Cellergize formula that you can drink at night, but I wouldn't drink that with the X2O either. Just drink that with regular water. That's going to help with a deep, calm, restful sleep. So simple, powerful, and repeatable. So finally, most people don't get full results because they stop at essential. When you stack, you amplify. So join me next week. I'm going to be interviewing David Schmidt here. And please note the time. The room will open at 8. We have room for 1,000 people. I will be streaming this on YouTube, my YouTube channel live as well too. So I will get that information out there for all of you. But David will actually be on at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. He has a Zoom a little earlier, and so he wanted to have a little bit of time in between the two Zooms. So we will do 8 p.m. Zoom room opens, and 8:30 p.m. will be the live broadcast with David Schmidt, who is the inventor of all of this technology. So please plan on joining me then to be able to hear and learn more about how this technology works for you. And if you have any questions, please get back with the person that invited you. They're definitely going to help you get set up with the technology of your choice. They're going to help you be able to, whatever package you're looking for, be able to help you get that. And of course, as we know, our X2O water machines, we will have another batch that are available on Thursday. So thank you all for joining me this evening, and I look forward to seeing you on Zoom soon. Here we go.